Hello, welcome to Module 3 of Mindfulness Practices. Today we will be really focusing on the language of the body and looking at doing some body scans and practice of that, and really focusing on some of those physical sensations and getting to know what our different sensations of our bodies mean and what do they don't mean, or just having awareness of our body. So as before, I'm Stephanie Dye, Special Ed Behavior Consultant from the ISD and one of your mindfulness practice trainers.
Hi, I am Lisa Cobb, also one of your mindfulness practice trainers. I am currently a school social worker in North Muskegon schools, but I've practiced all around the county for the last 25 years.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yep.
And we are gonna come in and start with our connector activity. So when we were thinking about our different connector activities, and this is beginning of a new year, kind of wanted to think back of the past year, and whether that's the past full calendar year or past school year, or whatever way of reference you want to look at it, but really thinking about what was one good thing that it came out of that past year for you. I know as I search through social media and listen to people, a lot of times it's, that year sucked, or that was awful, or let's start over, and all these different things. But when we truly reflect on it and see what was something good that came out of it, and that could be something good that happened to you, that could be something good that a new journey that happened, it could be something good that you got something good, or it could be a new awareness of yourself, of what was that like. So Stacy, Lisa and I are gonna share, and our one good thing, and then so we encourage you, whether you're in a group of people or if you're by yourself and just want to jot down some reflection, feel free to pause the video if you want to as well. But as I was reflecting and thinking about one good thing that came out of this past year for me, is it really forced me, but in a good way, to slow down more, because you had that time, and it allowed me to look at it and say, you don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn slowing down. And that was kind of the philosophy before for me, was I did all of these things on my checklist. I did all these things with my kids, or did all these things at work, or did all these other things that I'm supposed to do. And now I've earned that time to rest, or earned that time to just be. And I think the last year, really helped me think about saying, you don't have to earn it. You listen to your body. And I think that's why also this is so important today to talk through, is listening to your body, listening to your mind and your heart, and saying, I give myself permission to rest. Even if those other things aren't done, it is okay. And really focusing on that. So that awareness of that permission to rest piece, would say, was a good thing that came from me.
Yes, Stephanie and I were talking a little bit before we started the recording, and there's been so much. It's almost been 2 years since COVID was first announced around the planet. And for me, I have a propensity towards fear and anxiety, and going in my mind to the worst case scenario. And the last 2 years have brought those fears and worst case scenario possibilities and realities into my lap, and potentially into my heart, and potentially into my mind. And I have had to practice mindfulness and be suddenly attuned and aware, and how my body was viscerally responding to some sort of external stimuli, whether it was real or perceived, whether it was happening in front of me or I was watching it in the news. And I realized for myself that I am going to be no good health-wise if I don't stop and take care of myself. And I'm not going to be good and health-wise and a good helper for other people if I'm not tuning in. So the fact that we are doing the mindful practice of the body scan and how our bodies respond to our stressors. This time couldn't come at a more perfect time. Being suddenly aware how our body is reacting in our belly, in our chest, in our heart, in our mind is that moment in practice where you stop, take a deep breath, check in, ask yourself, how am I going to react? How am I going to respond? What do I do to best take care of myself and other people? And that's the only way we're really going to get through this for ourselves, our family, and the people that we work with.
That's so true. I know it is crazy. I didn't think about, we're talking about this today, but really it has a lot of importance right now. So we have this 101 positive things to say to myself, your life, your voice. And looking at moving forward and starting a new journey, whether it's in the middle of the year, the beginning of the year, whatever, because each day is fresh start, each moment is a fresh start, and looking at some positive things that we can say to ourselves. We will link this into the resource page, the resource guide for this module, but there are a couple different, things that, and we can tell ourselves each day and work through to give ourselves that permission and our awareness. And it can mean different things for each one of us, and finding one that resonates with you, or even saying, you know what, for the first 101 days of the year, I'm going to say one each day, and whatever works for you. But it's a way of allowing yourself to say, this is my life, this is my voice, and I get to hear myself say these things for me. So awesome, fun resource that Lisa had found, and we will share that with you in the resources.
So the body scan and the importance of the body scan. And today when we practice it, we are going to take some time. You need to trust me when I tell you that the more you practice this, the more easily and quickly you can do it anytime throughout the day. So we're going to practice in a way that you intentionally are moving your intentions through your body, okay? And you're going to pay attention to how your body is feeling, what you're sensing, and you can be impulsive or disciplined in a systematic way. And what that meant to me was, I used an example of a student startling me yesterday in my office, and like my first visceral response is wanting to be like, "God, why did you scare me?" And because of the practice, I was able to like take that deep breath right when that happened and check in that I was tight in my chest, that my belly was like constricted, and I wanted to like act out. But because of the practice, I was able to take the deep breath and then just be like, dude, you scared me. Just a second. Give me a minute to like let my body calm down. And as we practice being still with this scan, without moving, we can put our mind anywhere in our body that we choose. That is what our power is. And in that practice of flowing through the body scan, you're training your brain to pay attention to what you are telling it to pay attention to. So when we go to the next slide, we're able to talk about, it's not uncommon to practice the body scan for sensations to be felt more acutely, even if there's pain, okay, in certain regions. But at the same time, with the mindfulness practice, wherever they are, however they are intense or not intense, we are able to just notice. So instead of going into fear, like, oh, I do feel My stomach hurts. I wonder if I have some sort of medical condition, or my chest hurts, or why do I have heart palpitations, or why are my muscles so tight? I should be stretching more. All of the things that we woulda, coulda, shoulda ourselves, you are just noticing without judgment, remembering that the definition for mindfulness is in the present moment, um, on purpose. Okay. So consciously, without judgment, you're just going to notice. Okay. So I can feel myself, even as we're doing this video, and wanting to be able to meet the needs of all of you in 30 to 45 minutes, the pressure that we put on ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and take a nice deep breath together, breathing in through our nose, filling our belly, holding it in our chest, blowing out. And now I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to either pause the video or notice for yourself, get yourself in a comfortable seated position. Or if you want to recline, if you're at home or in your office and you want to recline back, that's fine. If you want to lay down while you're listening to the body scan, you can. And I want you to notice, it's okay, Steph, you can move to that next slide. I want you to notice, after we are in our comfortable position and we go through the body scans, you might feel some of these sensations. You might feel tingling or pulling or clammy or our dry skin or numb in certain parts. Just notice. Don't judge. Notice your physical sensations. And then I would also ask you, when we go to the next slide, to think, not as to not think, I guess, okay? To notice what your emotional reactions will be without putting a story or an attachment to it. So just notice, I like doing this. I don't like doing this. Oh, geez, I got some anger coming up, some fear coming up. I've got some joy coming up. After this video, I'm going to go do something I like or I don't like. And you're like, okay, emotions. Okay, body sensations. I feel you. I hear you. We're going to go back to the breath and continue scanning our body. So when we go to the next slide, you're going to have thoughts that might be thinking about something that happened in the past. Oh, I've done this body scan and I didn't like it then, or I'm looking forward to it. You might be planning, you might be labeling, you might be thinking about other people, all the things you have to do. Again, just notice. So, what is your body experiencing? What emotions are you having? And what does your mind want to distract you to think about? And the mindfulness practice is coming back to your breath. And again, that's setting that new neural pathway so that when we are in a situation where we are actually impacted by some sort of external trigger, we can recognize that in ourselves quickly, and our brain goes, oh, I know what to do. I go right to the breath first. I'm in charge of me. Okay. So we're in that comfortable position, either sitting, reclining, laying down, and your only job is to listen to my voice. And sometimes we've done this with a singing bowl. What we've found is that with a singing bowl, it will reverberate a little bit. And some people find it to be a little disheartening. Okay. So if you want to practice listening to a singing bowl, get your bowl out and set your intention for yourself where you ring your bowl, close your eyes and take that deep breath. Okay. So closing our eyes now, we're going to go through the practice of a body scan. So the first thing that I would like you to do is to close your eyes. And your only job right now is to listen to my voice. Taking a nice deep breath, breathing in through your nose, holding it in your belly, up into your chest, and softening your body as you breathe out. Just soften your shoulders, soften your rib cage, soften your abdomen, soften your shoulders, your upper back and middle back and lower back. Breathing in fully and exhaling slowly. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Your stomach expanding. Inhale and exhale. Slowing down your body. Let go of the noises around you. Shift your attention from outside to inside yourself. If you're distracted by any sounds in your room, simply notice this and bring your focus back to your breathing. Slowly bring your attention down to your feet. You might want to wiggle your toes a little bit, feeling your toes against your socks, or if you have bare feet, noticing the temperature without judgment. You might imagine sending your breath down to your feet as if you have your breath traveling through your nose to your lungs, through your abdomen, all the way down to your feet. And then back up again, out through your nose, your lungs. Perhaps you don't feel anything at all, and that's fine too. Just notice, allow yourself to feel the sensation or not feel a sensation. Just noticing without judgment. And when you're ready, allow your feet to dissolve in your mind's eye and move your attention up to your ankles, your calves, slowly up to your knees. Breathing in and letting go, just noticing if there's any tension or tightness. Moving up into your thighs. Observing the sensations that you're experiencing throughout your legs. Breathe into and out of your legs. If your mind begins to wander during this exercise, just gently notice this without judging it. Bring your mind back to noticing the sensations in your legs. Breathing in and breathing out, softening your body. If you notice any discomfort, pain, or stillness, if you notice any stiffness, don't judge, just simply notice it. Observe how all the sensations rise and fall, shift and change moment to moment. Notice how no sensation is permanent. Just observe and allow the sensation to be in the moment, just as they are. Breathe into and out of your legs. If your mind wanders off, you're distracted by any noise, just come back to your body. Come back to your breath. Breathing in again. And on this next breath out, allow your legs to dissolve in your mind and move to the sensations in your lower back and your pelvis, softening and releasing as you breathe in and out. Slowly moving the attention up to your mid back, softening your mid back, up into your upper back, softening your upper back. Become curious about the sensations here. You may become aware of sensations in the muscle, temperature, or points of contact with the furniture, with your clothing. And with each out breath, you may let go of tension that you're carrying. Breathing in and letting it go. And then very gently shift your focus to your stomach and all of the internal organs. Perhaps you notice the feeling of your clothing, the process of your digestion, or your belly rising or falling with each breath. If you notice opinions arising around these areas, gently let them go and return to noticing the sensations. As you continue to breathe, bring your awareness to your chest, to your heart region, and just notice your heartbeat. Observe how the chest rises during an inhale and how the chest falls during the exhale. Let go of any judgments that may arise. On the next out breath, shift the focus to your hands and your fingertips and notice how your mind is in charge of what you pay attention to. Focusing on your hands and your fingertips. See if you can channel your breathing into and out of this area as you are breathing into and out of your hands. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the sensations in your hands. Breathing in, breathing out, just noticing without judgment. And then on the next out breath, shift the focus and bring your awareness to your arms. Observe the sensations or lack of sensations that you may be occurring there in your arms. You might notice some difference between your left arm or your right arm. No need to judge. And as you exhale, you may experience bringing your attention up into your neck and your shoulders and your throat. This is an area where we often have tension. Be with the sensations here. It could be tightness. You could feel rigid. You could know that you're holding on, breathing in and just softening without judging, softening your throat, your neck, your shoulders. Breathing in, feel the tension roll off your shoulders and let go of any thoughts or stories that you're telling yourself about the tension that you hold here. And on your next out breath, shift your focus and your direction to your scalp, to your face, and to your head. Observe all the sensations occurring here. Notice the movement of the air as you breathe in or out of your nostrils or out of your mouth. As you exhale, you might notice there's softening of tension that you're holding. And now let your attention expand out into the area of your entire body as a whole. Bring your awareness from the top of your head, face, neck, shoulders, arms, down into your fingers, relaxing down your spine from the top of your spine into your upper back, middle back, lower back, relaxing your rib cage, your belly, your pelvis, down into your legs, your thighs, your knees, calves, ankles, feet. Feel the gentle rhythm of the breath as it moves through your body. And as we come to the end of this practice, take a full, deep breath, taking in all of the energy of this practice and exhale fully. And when you are ready, open your eyes and return your attention to this present moment. As you become fully alert and awake, consider setting the intention that this practice of building awareness will benefit everyone you come into contact with today. Gently open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and toes. Come on back to this space. What did you notice? What did you like? What did you not like? How could you use this in the future? You might want to pause your video and ask yourself those questions. Notice throughout the rest of the day or evening how this practice impacts how you are going to interact with yourself and everyone else for the remainder of this day. And know that anytime during the day, you can breathe in, scan your body very quickly within seconds, soften and blow out, and come back to that present moment and be present with that person or situation in front of you from a place of peace and love. Thank you.
I didn't realize how heavy my head felt until you got to the head, and you're like, soften it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I almost couldn't hold it up straight. It's so crazy when you bring your awareness to a particular area and what it does when you're really focusing on that. And it allowed me to lighten the load of my head.
Isn't it interesting? And so it goes back to the name it and tame it,
Right.
right? So we kind of name external things to be like, okay, now I can let it go. But when we recognize, our body wants to be seen and heard too. And when we notice, our body says, thank you. And then we can let it go.
Yeah, so powerful.
It is.
So as we've worked through understanding what the body scan is and how it affects our body, and then actually practicing it and looking at the different pieces of the physical sensations, the emotional sensations, and then like the stories that we tell ourselves, and all of those pieces, it's this happening to us all day long. But when you break it up like Lisa did, it's so understanding, like, wow, like that really does, the story develops through that. And when we're looking at understanding what our body's telling us and the awareness of it, and when we're looking at implementing it in the classroom or with students, and what does that look like? And I think the key here is really noticing in that awareness of our body. When stressful things happen or certain emotions come up, positive or negative emotions, any of the emotions come up, our bodies respond to those first before even our thoughts or our heart does. And it's becoming that awareness of saying, this is what my body's telling me before I've gotten too far down. And so the first step when we're looking at implementing with students, all ages, we really have to look at how do we help them experience those raw physical sensations of our body, and looking at what that feels like and noticing that and practicing it. Just like Lisa went through that practice with us, it went through each part of understanding. So breaking that down based on the age of the students, one of the questions we always say to students or adults is, what are you noticing right now in your body? And if we haven't taught people how to recognize that or notice, or what does that even mean, then we're not sure how to even answer that, right? So I think that's that first part is really focusing in on certain parts of the body when they're at a baseline to help understand those sensations. So for example, with like elementary students, some of the examples are, even just starting with the hand, having them focus their attention on their hand, blowing on their hand. What do they notice? Do they notice the air? Is it cold? Is it warm? How did that feel on their hand? Also using their hand to touch maybe their shirt and noticing that feeling, noticing hand through your hair. What is that feeling? How does it feel on your hand? So as you work through different parts of your body, you're giving them exposure to those raw experiences of everyday things that they do, but helping them focus their attention awareness on certain parts. Even little kids can draw different parts of their body and label what they feel with those parts of the body, and or do they have tension. And so the whole point is it comes back around to that those coping skills and the self-regulation of saying, I'm feeling angry because I feel it in my body first, or I'm feeling sad because I can feel the knot in my throat. I'm feeling excited because my body feels really hyper right now. I mean, all of these different places is helping them break those pieces down. So that can just even be everybody sitting in a circle on the floor and running through one of those activities using a body scan. Even for secondary, you can do a body scan like Lisa did, or even use a little bit of imagery and having them be placed in an environment. And what does your body feel in that environment? I think the goal with understanding the language of the body is helping students feel relaxed and safe and at home in their own skin, so that when they're in uncomfortable situations or super exciting situations, we're able to recognize that even in our own skin and know how to notice it. So it's not saying at this point you even have to change it, but it's noticing that this is happening. And as adults, it's super hard to do that too. And it's a practice that we have to do all the time. Um, and understanding like, okay, yeah, I can feel my heart pounding a little bit, or hey, my head and I feel fine, but my stomach's telling me something different. And sometimes we try to pinpoint it and we're not sure what it is, but it's noticing, all right, my body's telling me something's going on. And the more we notice it, the more we're able to help release it or put attention to it. I think when it comes to even pain and different pain pieces of our body, you breathing into it and noticing that is so crazy, but it is a natural pain reliever, so to speak, has been really helpful. So an example I have is for my 8-year-old son. We talk about different parts of the body and different things, but I realized to myself that I hadn't done enough small training pieces on this with him. But the other day, my husband and I go for runs, so we try to encourage our kids to go for runs. So Case, I said, come on, buddy, you're going to come run with us. You've had 2 weeks off of school with Christmas break. You haven't had some physical activity. So you come run with us for a little bit. And so I said, it's good for your body, but it's also good for your heart and for your mind. That's why Mom does a lot of the running is for her mind. And so he's like, all right. So he comes out and he runs. He's not too happy about it. But at the end of the run, I said, Case, how does your body feel? And he's like, cold. I'm like, okay. It was winter. And I said, well, how does your heart and your head feel? Like, do you feel clear? And he goes, my heart feels cold and my head feels cold too, Mom. Everything's cold out here. And I'm like, yes. But I said, do you feel better? And he said, yes. But really understanding, like, I was really vague with, well, my heart feels cold. Yeah, but do you feel the blood pumping and all of these things? So we talked through that, but it just helped my awareness to say, okay, we got to talk a little bit more about what that truly means and how does that help, how do we do different things to our body to help fuel all parts. And so yeah, he was quite comical that his heart felt cold after running too. So coming back to this, we really want to help the students and everyone understand that our experiences in our body really help show what our emotions are and how we respond to those emotions and how to be able to regulate them and even, catch them before it gets too far too. So that awareness and noticing, and we'll put in the resource guide some examples of even some scripted body scans that you can use in the classroom as well. But it's starting simple and just helping understand what does it feel like in your body, and even drawing pictures of saying, when I feel angry, this is where I feel it, and naming it and owning it, and that kind of things are really helpful too. So as we're coming to a little bit of an end, we want to do a little bit of a closing sit with you. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes and just sit and listen to kind of some of these questions and kind of process through some of that with you in this moment while we've been talking about our body and our language of the body. So let's sit and get our mindful bodies and comfortable. Close our eyes. Breathe in and take a big deep breath. What is the current state of your nervous system? The nervous system is where the mind is revealed in the body. What does that feel like right now? Is it a calm state? Is it a rapid state? Just notice. What's the current state of your mind and mental activity? Do you have a lot of chatter going on in your mind? You let that go. You have positive thoughts going on in your mind, confused, or just being. Don't change it. Don't force it to be less or more than it is. Just noticing. What is the current state of your heart? Do you feel it pounding? Is it a soft pound? Is it a hard pound? Is it slow, fast? What's the current state of your breath? Slow, deep breath, shallow. Just notice. Again, no reason to change it or fix it. Just notice. All of these aspects of our being, our nervous system, our mind, our heart, our breath, are arising and passing of their own accord. All these things continue to flow in and out. They'll continue to operate and function. Our interference is futile, but our presence is in service and in cooperation. Really noticing and focusing our presence on each of these aspects of our body and the language that they're communicating to us. So may our presence, our mindfulness, our inquiry be in the service of our own understanding, in awakening and in service of that of others. Noticing how our body operates and how we respond to others, how we respond to ourselves, what the energy is that we in our bodies are bringing to the environment, to the surroundings of others. Bringing that energy to calm the environment, bringing the energy to heighten the environment, just noticing and our understanding. May all beings be free from suffering. May our heart be untangled. May attachment and aversion be uprooted. To provide that our vehicle for presence of our body and of our heart, our soul and mind and our breath is light and freedom. And we continue to bring that energy both to ourselves and to those around us. And as you're sitting with your body and your mind and your heart and your breath right now, notice of sharing that light, sharing that freedom, helping notice and put energy and focus into this beautiful vehicle of our body and all that we nurture and put in it and all that we send out. Let's take a deep breath in, and while we're breathing in, let's breathe in that light. Breathe out that entanglement, that suffering. One more breath. Let's breathe in love. Love for our body, love for our heart, love for our mind. Breathe out love. Feel free to open your eyes, wiggle your toes, fingers, come back. And this PowerPoint has the questions and things that went through, so you can use this for yourself or kind of guide it as you are sitting maybe at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, and kind of work through some of these questions and see, and what is your intention? And as you kind of walk away with today, I want you to look at this and kind of that new year, new thoughts of intentions for the time. And it says, I hope you live louder. I hope you laugh more. I hope you sing at the top of your lungs. I hope you drive with the windows down and let the wind rustle through your hair. I hope you hug. I hope you kiss. I hope you surround yourself with people who make you feel alive. I hope you become the type of person that brings good energy wherever you go, and the type of person people want to be around. I hope you speak what's on your mind, that you raise your voice for injustice, and that you tell others that you love them instead of waiting until it's too late. I hope you live louder, shine brighter from this moment on. Let's breathe that in. Feel it go through your body. So those words resonate with you. Setting our intentions for each day.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Mhm.
As you know, we like to end each one of our sessions with heartfulness. And I think what the universe, society, or however we want to name what's happening externally is going on, what is becoming more readily apparent is that we can't run from ourselves. We can't quit our job and find happiness. We can't escape. We need to go inward. And from going inward and grounding ourselves and coming from a place of love for ourselves first and foremost, without judgment. We're not going to be perfect. Life is not meant to be perfect. But when we can fill our hearts with that love for ourselves, it brings us clarity, even if what is happening externally is something that we can't control, we can't change. We can't be mad enough to make it go away. We can be beacons of calm in the chaos, in the madness. And it's really easy to think, if I could just get out of this situation, if I could go back to the way things were, everything would be better again. And truly, that's not a reality. So, how are we going to move forward in this? So, hands on our hearts, kind thoughts for yourself, kind thoughts for others, even if we don't see heart to heart with them right now. Let's start by wishing happiness for ourselves by breathing in and repeating after me. I am healthy. I am happy. I am peaceful. I am safe. And I am joy filled. And notice, what did your mind just tell yourself? How did your body respond? Did you believe that you are healthy, happy, peaceful, safe, and joy filled? Or did you argue with yourself? Did you think it could never happen? Just notice. And it may be, instead of saying, I am healthy, happy, peaceful, safe, and joy filled, my intention is that someday I will truly feel happiness, health, peace, safety, and be joy filled, even when I can't control what's happening around me. And then we can extend our hands out and send heartfulness to everybody, every living thing on this planet, because we are all in this together. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be safe. And may you be joy filled. Thank you for your time. Please look forward to our next video module, and know that you can come back to these modules at any time and listen to them. You can listen to them, you can share them with your family, with your friends. The whole idea is that if we can all have a mindfulness practice, being present, filled with a noticing of when we're anything but love for ourselves and other people, that we will impact our educational system, the students that we see and feel and notice every day. And you are truly making a difference. And we are grateful for all of the work that you do. Stephanie, is there anything you would like to add?
Thank you for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.